Welcome into After the Whistle. I am your host, Luke Gamble. A big show tonight, the last one of 2020. Phil Bonatti with me for a preview of the high school basketball season. Phil, good to have you here.
Great to be here, Luke.
Well, we start out with Class A, and you saw the season play out last year before it was canceled, of course, due to COVID-19. Let's jump right in and start with the boys. The WDA going to be a fun race to watch this season.
That's right. You know, it starts right at the top with Bismarck High. The Demons with a ton of talent returning, and you have to have the question of how they will drop off. Bismarck last season, the WDA in points per game at 84, yet didn't have a top scorer in the top 15. That kind of tells you about the depth the Demons have. One player I look to make a huge leap is junior Trey Eaglestaff, a double-digit scorer off the bench. This year, he'll be a starter. 24 points in their loss to Mandan on Tuesday night. I think the Demons will bounce back. It's about finding that rotation that will make Bismarck great, especially with their on-ball pressure.
Well, that was a great game between the Demons and Mandan. Let's flip to the other side in Mandan, an intriguing team who looks a lot different this season as well.
That's an understatement. No Elijah Klein, no Jackson Weiss, no size that you can lean on from last year. But how did they get that win over Bismarck on Tuesday? And I think they did a good job of playing up to Bismarck's speed. And that's something these players know could be their identity. Pushing the pace is a way they can get on the scoreboard. But you can also go to the half court, too. I think Jace Lohman is going to be huge for the Braves this season, plus a big man in Jackson Dudenheffer, a D1 football player in the middle there. Mandan's going to be a great team this year.
It's definitely a tough player to have on the court. Should be fun to watch. How about some other teams in the WDA?
Yeah, you know, some people that can catch people off guard. You look at the 4 spots that make up the state tournament out of the WDA. I think the 4 seed is going to be a wild race. You look at a legacy team that went toe-to-toe with top-seeded Jamestown on the road on opening night. How about Dickinson, who won by almost 70 over Watford City? Really good teams in this league put up margins like that. How about a St. Mary's team? I think they have the biggest chance to be a Bismarck underdog story like the Demons were in 2019. Minot, Century, I could go on and on. The WDA tournament is going to be exciting to watch in March.
Well, we know who you have at the top, but who else do you have getting into the state tournament?
So let's take a look at the 4 teams. I think Bismarck, with all of its pieces, will be the ones that make it back-to-back. Too much talent there, in my opinion. Jamestown will be right there at number 2. Mandan, I think, will be the 3 seed. And going out on a limb here, like I said, St. Mary's, they have size and they have the shooters. It'll be dependent on their defense, but I think this is a fun team that can make it to the Bismarck Event Center in late March.
Well, I'm going to keep my opinions to myself, but let's take a look at David Gibson's picks. He's going with Bismarck, Jamestown, Minot, and Legacy. Shows just how wide open this race can be. Well, let's go to girls basketball now. Who do you like coming into this 2020 season in the WDA?
Well, I want to start with Century. You were there at practice last week, you know, before the season started, and you get a sense that these girls know how to win championships. You saw it in the fall. I think it carries over to the winter. 6 seniors on this team, including Julia Fitterer, a girl that has range and knows how to score. You have a 6-footer in Megan Klein as well. I love that experience down low. What were your impressions?
Well, I agree with you. I think experience will be more important than ever before this year. Century seems to have things flowing pretty well at practice. Excited to see how they turn it up a notch when game time comes around. Let's shift to the WDA defending champions, though. The Legacy Sabres, a team that will also look a lot different in 2020.
That's right. Alexis Dressler was the heart of that Sabres team last season. You could see the leadership she had during their first WDA title run in school history. There was a girl that was playing huge in the WDA tournament as well, Jaden Baker. She returns for Legacy. She was playing some of her best basketball down the stretch. A bad twist of the ankle hindered her at the state tournament before it was shut down. I think she could be a big-time scorer at Legacy. Ariana Berryhill is another great scorer as well, able to slash, a good shooter there. Legacy is in good hands this season.
Well, let's go to some teams that people may not be talking about. Who are your dark horses on the girls' side of things?
Well, I'm going to go strictly to reactionary and say Minot to start. I mean, look at the Majettes in their first few games and won by a margin of 66-28, to name a few. We see Mariah Everson be their go-to girl as far as her scoring ability. I like the way Avery Lundy has played as well. A good duo can go a long way, and they aren't even seniors yet, so Minot could be here to stay. Another team to look out for is Bismarck. The Demons are young, but they play with a pace when they can. They just missed out in the state tournament last season, so a team like the Demons can get there if things fall their way.
So a couple of teams there to look out for, but who do you have making it to the state tournament?
I'll go with the top four here. I think Century is going to win the WDA. Too much depth, a lot of great scores on their roster. Second place, I like how Minot played early on. This is a team that can make some noise. I believe Legacy will make it back to the tournament, and I had to flip a coin between Bismarck and Mandan, but I think the Braves make it by the slimmest of margins, even though it'll be tough to replace a Miss Basketball candidate in Lake and Darris.
Well, let's look at David Gibson's picks. A whole lot different than yours. Minot on top, maybe a little bit biased there. St. Mary's sneaking in there with Century and Bismarck.